What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I just want to run through an outstanding middleweight fighter by the name of Carlos Monzon. Let's take a look at his record. Carlos Monzon was an outstanding middleweight. He had a record of 85, 3-9, and 59 knockouts. One no contest. He fought from 1963 to 1977. He held the World Middleweight Championship, the Lineal Middleweight Championship, 1970 to 1977. Let's take a look at his record. We're going to breeze right through it. He's from Argentina, a middleweight. He was born Santa Fe, Argentina, August 7th, 1942. Began his professional career in 1963. He was placed on a card February 6th against a fighter by the name of Ramon Montenegro. He knocked him out in the second round. Albino Verno, no decision in one. Fought him again. Knocked him out in the second round. He fought on March 13th and April 9th. And this continues, all knockouts, as you can see here. And as we go up here, May 31st, Juan Rodriguez knocks him out in 5 rounds. And, he had a loss, a setback. August 28th, Antonio Aguilar and Benavides. He lost in 10 rounds. Bettino, he fought again. Benito Sanchez knocks him out in 8 rounds. Rene Sosa knocks him out in 6 rounds, 1964. He had a decent year. Felipe Campero, June 28th in Rio de Janeiro. He lost in 8 rounds. And he lost another fight, but he continues, 1965. As you can see here, a lot of knockouts, a lot of decisions, and a lot of draws. He only lost 3 times of my count. 1966, no losses. And then September 3rd, Jorge Fernandez, Benavides, 12-round victory, Argentina middleweight championship. And so he became a champion in Argentina. And he continues his knockout reign. 1967. I'm just picking through some fighters here. As you can see, all knockouts, a couple of wins, until he gets to May 6th. And in May 6th, he faced Benny Briscoe, Philadelphia fighter, outstanding fighters, Benny Briscoe. Benavides, he had a 10-round draw. June 10th, Jorge Fernandez, another good fighter, Benavides, 12-round victory for the South American Middleweight Championship. And he continues winning his fights August 16th, Tito Marshall, Benavides, 10-round victory. Fights Tito Marshall again, November 18th. Benavides defeats him in 10 rounds. 1968, April 5th. Juan Aguilar, Mendoza, 10-round draw. Benito Sanchez KOs him in 4 rounds. Johnny Brooks, Benavides, defeats him in 10 rounds. That was December 7th. 1969, January 10th, Ruben Okoro knocks him out in 9 rounds. That's for the South American Middleweight Championship. And as I said, I'm just going through his career. Defended his title again September 27th with a 6-round knockout. Antonio Aguilera again. Rosario knocks him out in 6 rounds. That's February 2nd. Phenomenal fighter was Carlos Monzon. July 18th, he fought Eddie Pace, Buenos Aires. Defeated him in 10 rounds. September 19th, Candy Rosa. Benavides KO'd him in 4 rounds. November 7th, Nino Benvenuti. Very good fighter. He's an Italian fighter. This was in Rome. Knocked him out in 12 rounds and won the World Middleweight Championship. Now, Nino Benvenuti went back and forth with Emil Griffith with that title. And once Carlos Monzon got a hold of that title, he didn't want to let it go. He was some fighter. Charlie Austin, December 20th. Benavides knocked him out in 2 rounds. 1971, February 19th. Domingo Guerrero and Salter knocked him out in 2 rounds. Roy Lee, Santa Fe, knocked him out in 2 rounds. Nino Benvenuti, this is a rematch, knocked him out in 3 rounds. So he scored a knockout over Nino Benvenuti this time and retained the middleweight championship. So Carlos Monzon was for real. He was for real. September 25th, Emil Griffith, Buenos Aires, knocked him out in the 14th round, retained the World Middleweight Championship, knocked out Emil Griffith in the 14th round. Fraser Scott, he was a good fighter, Buenos Aires, wow, knocked him out in the 3rd round. 1972, March 4th, Denny Moyer. Now, Denny Moyer had a brother, but he was up, he wasn't in his prime in Rome, knocked him out in 5 rounds, retained the World Middleweight Championship. So he started defending his title quite often, as a matter of fact. June 17th, Jean-Claude knocked him out in 12 rounds. Tom Boggs killed him in 5 rounds. And then he fought November 11th, Benny Briscoe again, Buenos Aires. Defeated him in 15 rounds. He went the distance. Retained the World Middleweight Championship. Emil Griffith again defeated him in 15 rounds. That was June 7th. And you can just see here, he's defending his title consistently. Let's go up for a moment here. 1974, February 9th, Jose Napoles in Paris knocks him out in 7 rounds. He retains his middleweight championship. Phenomenal. 1976, June 26th, Regino Valdez defeated him in 15 rounds, retains the world middleweight championship. That's in Monte Carlo. 1977, July 30th, he fought Valdez again, defeated him in 15 rounds. And then August 29th, he retired from the ring and went into acting full time. He had 102 fights, knockout 61, one on a draw, on a decision, 28. He had 9 draws. Phenomenal fighter was Carlos Monzon. I just wanted to go through him real quickly. I think Carlos Monzon has to be ranked number 2 middleweight of all times, I would say. Number 2. You can put him 3. You can put him 3. You can put him 3. You can put him 2. But I got Sugar Ray Robinson and Marvin Hagler. No question. Now, I don't want, my subscribers to confuse. I always say that Harry Greb, I have him number 2 of the greatest fighters. But Harry Greb was really a light heavyweight. That was his actual weight. He went down to middleweight. So, he had some good fights, but he fought a lot of weights. He didn't really concentrate in the middleweight. He fought a lot of weights, light heavyweights, heavyweights, middleweights. But as a strict middleweight, where all your fighting is at one weight, I would have to say Sugar Ray Robinson, Monzon, and Marvelous Marvin Hagler. And you can mix them around however you like. This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Salute to my subscribers. Peace.